for 2.3 million people living in Gaza. Since the war started, only 1,200 humanitarian aid trucks have been allowed to enter in Gaza. Gazans need almost 500 trucks a day, and we got in 43 days less than 1,200. That's less than 5% of the need of 2.5 million of Gazans who have been under siege for the last 17 years. While there were no Hamas attacks in West Bank, Israeli forces and the settlers have managed to kill over 200 people there and arrested almost 2,800 people as well. And since I started speaking almost 2 minutes ago, it is possible that 2 more Palestinians have been killed. Since I just started talking 2 minutes ago, at least two more Palestinians have been killed. So you can imagine, if we let this go further and further, how many more people will be killed in this war? Only this morning, you wake up to this terrible news of the attack on a UN school, killing almost 200 people, and the forced expulsion of refugees and patients from the Al-Shifa hospital. Many of them cannot sustain life in their own, and they have now to leave the hospital to know I don't know where. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights states, Article 1, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Article 3, everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. As we witness the catastrophic and cruel military attacks of the past 43 days, it is easy to conclude that either the Declaration of Human Rights is not universal, or that the people of Gaza are not human. Not human, worthy of all the same universal rights, as some of the Israeli government extremists have publicly said that they don't consider them human. They deserve the same human rights like everybody of us around the whole world. They deserve to live in dignity and peace. What we are witnessing, my dear brothers and sisters and friends, is a devastating and shameful failure of our global humanity. Our humanity is not complete. Our humanity is not complete without the humanity of all of the people, including in Palestine. Thank you all. Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Friends, what you just heard, the devastation, the loss, the death, the tragedy, this is why we're here today, calling for a ceasefire now! We are calling for an end to the bombardment, an end to the killing, to the starvation of Gaza. This is not a marginal demand. This is the global consensus. The UN Secretary General has called for a ceasefire now. Amnesty International has called for a ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now!
Doctors Without Borders has called for a ceasefire now. The LA Times has called for a ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now!
Dozens of U.S. federal, state, local officials have called for a ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now!
A growing list of unions, teachers, auto workers, United Electrical Workers have called for ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now!
Interfaith leaders around the world have called for a ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now!
recent poll shows that 68% of people in the U.S. support a ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now!
We need a ceasefire to stop the killing, to stop the trauma, to reunite families. We need a ceasefire to bring supplies, food, care to Gaza. We need a ceasefire to get people being held captive, civilians on all sides, Israeli, Palestinian, back to their families home safely. We need a halt also to U.S. weapons shipments to Israel. No more Palestinian children dying under a rain of bombs and bullets and missiles manufactured and sold by U.S. weapons companies. No more profits for the Lockheed Martins, the Raytheons, the General Dynamics, the corporations raking in billions from fueling conflict and war that kills innocent people. No more complicity by our government in death and destruction in actions that are being widely condemned around the world as war crimes. We are in the U.S. living under the only government in the world that might have the power to compel a ceasefire, compel Israel to stop the bombing, stop the killing in Gaza. We need our elected officials, our government, to do the only right thing, the only moral thing right now, and to demand and facilitate an immediate ceasefire.
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! In partnership, in unity, to demand a ceasefire now, to demand an end to the killing, to demand peace and justice for everyone in Palestine.
Thank you, Derek. And now we'd like to ask all of you, can you please clear this area? Can we ask all of you now, all of you please, for a moment of silence for all those killed in this war. And I would like you to pay attention to one item that we are, please brothers, wait. We are, inshallah, we printed the names of all those who have been killed in the war in this large banner. We'd like you to pay attention to it while also maintain silence, please. You can take videos and pictures, but for now, we're gonna stand or be silent for, inshallah, those deceased and make prayers for those who lost their life, the civilians and everywhere, as well as pray for the safety for the remaining ones. Thank you all.